which is his ultimate goal.
Shit. That's not what I wanted.
But one night while swimming around the lake searching for this pearl, he gets caught by this boy who turns out to be his classmate and deskmate, Ryan, I think. I'm sure the pronunciation is different. But Ao Ao notices something weird about Ryan, that he too is no human. Another thing is that he keeps mistaking Ao Ao for another dragon that he's been looking for. Is it really another dragon? Or did someone tamper with Ao Ao's memories? I really like the chibi art style in this manhwa. If you guys know me, then you know that I love chibis in general. And since Ao Ao is actually a weak dragon, every time he loses energy, he goes back to this form. Isn't it cute? It's so adorable. There's also the 4-panel comic after each chapter, which is just too cute. So throughout the story, it is hinted that Ryan during another lifetime knew Ao Ao. But I can tell that things didn't go well for these two in their past lives. So here we have Ryan in this new body with memories of his old self searching for Ao Ao. But when he does find Ao Ao, this boy doesn't have a single clue about Ryan or their past encounter. Aren't you curious already? Because throughout the manhwa they leave us hints and new clues letting us on to what actually happened in the past, while still keeping it vague that it just makes you want to read chapter after chapter. Being like, what the hell actually happened? We do get a chance to meet some of the other supernatural characters, and there's kind of like a side story of Ao Ao's protective brother and his current guardian. I'm liking the flow of their stories so far. Sadly, I couldn't find much information. We do have the visual poster trailer of the anime, but that's it. Next anime that I'm so hyped for is
Bro.
So this is a slice of life, coming of age manhwa, and for this we actually have a trailer. Doesn't it look nice? I'm so ready for the tears. So the story is about Jiang Cheng, who was raised in a rich family, finding out that he's adopted and going to sort of the slums, or a much different world than he's used to live with his biological dad. Actually, he had issues with his family, you know, being the rebellious one, but because his rebelliousness got out of hand, his adoptive mother revealed that he was adopted. He leaves to go live with his biological dad, who, as you may have already guessed, is an alcoholic, a gambler who's constantly in debt. Upon arrival at this strange foreign city, he runs into this lost mute girl who is later revealed to be Ermiao. Now, in order to help her find her way, he contacts her brother, Gufei, someone who is feared around town as rumor has it that he killed his own dad. Jiang Cheng and Gufei end up crossing paths multiple times after his move, and somehow as time goes on, they end up forming a bond. I've always liked these types of coming-of-age stories, and with Warm Sun, there's just something very real about the setting. From the start, we are in a way informed that both Jiang Cheng and Gufei are attracted to men, but because of how vague things are in the manhwa, it's actually quite different in the novel. There are only 60 chapters so far, and only recently did they start shedding some light on both characters' sexuality. Now we are seeing some hints of romance between these two. At first I was expecting Jiang Cheng's biological dad to be poor, but still a good guy, you know? But nope, his dad is the complete opposite. Brother and sister are both married with kids, but even that part of the family is messed up. It must have been hard. Not only did he find out that he was adopted, but to come from a family of problematic characters must have been hard to process. But I have a feeling, I don't know why, deep down, I have a feeling that we might see some good with this environment. As dysfunctional as it may be, I can still sense some good in his alcoholic gambler dad. Gufei is also an interesting individual. Despite being feared in his town and looking like such a badass, there is some gap moe when it comes to how he deals with his sister, and also the fact that he knits. We like a guy who can knit. I can knit as well. Just saying. I also like Ermiao, Gufei's sister, because I support her solution to bullies. Smack them! Oh, and I guess I must give you guys trigger warnings for this, like abusive parents, depression, some violence. I don't know much about studios that work on donghwas, but according to the blog post, this is by Colored Pencil Animation, which is behind King's Avatar Season 2 and Fantasy Hunter. And if you look at those, that's top-notch animation. Third donghwa on the list is Unsound Relationship, also known as Defective Lovers. A detective action, sort of supernatural, but also not supernatural manhwa revolving around Detective Chuyan, a short-tempered police detective, and Tang Ryu, a now psychic but ex-police superintendent, who 2 years ago became partners solving case after case, but at present, one is in an unconscious state, while the other is trying to find a cure to this. This one is honestly not very different from those detective stories out there. Nothing about the story is different or unique. It does feel quite generic. Even the cases that they solve, they don't really have any wow factor. I am a fan of this genre, so forgive me if I'm being too critical. While it does feel generic, the thing about this manhwa that caught my attention is the pacing and the timeline. So this manhwa starts with Chuyan and Ryu in present day, where Ryu is in an unconscious state. That's the setting. Chuyan is trying to find a way to cure Ryu, and he's taking the route of trying to trigger Ryu's memories by taking him to places of the cases that they've solved. And as Chuyan goes about doing this, we reminiscing together with him. So don't get confused by the time skip and all that stuff. So like he looks at an article, reminisces about the case that they solved. We go along his memory and see Ryu back then when he was well. Then the reminiscing ends after the case is solved, and we're back to present day unwell Ryu. Then we have Chuan passing a building related to a case that they solved, and we go through the cycle all over again. And I kinda like this method of executing the plot because while the cases that they solve is meh, like the twist is not that surprising. It's the clues and hints the author drops in these flashbacks of 2 years ago that's got me hooked, to see how they're related to the cause of Ryu's current state. As for the pacing, I was referring to the pacing of their relationship. Based on the similar manhwas that I've read with this setting, it usually would take a while for them to get involved romantically, but in the case of this manhwa, it happens quite fast and in a more realistic way, which I like. Even the way they handle their feelings is much better than the usual tsundere crap. But as generic as the story is, I'd love to see the anime. The trailer at the moment is nothing much, just the visual poster trailer, so we'll have to wait and see. Lastly, we have AWM PUBG Mobile, which by the title I'm sure you can tell is a manhwa that takes place in an esports setting. Chisui, an esports superstar, is surprised to find out one day that his ex Yu Yang had signed under the same management as him. Why would his ex, who had shown such an aversion to being intimate with him, intentionally sign under the same management and join his team? Does Yu Yang still have feelings for Chisui? Was there a much deeper explanation to Yu Yang's reaction back then? I like the esports setting, and based on the other stories that I've read with this setting, meeting your ex or competing with your ex is not really a new thing, but I still like it, so leave me alone. So Chisui actually met Yu Yang at a competition, and he's the one who confessed his feelings. They were dating for a short period, but when Yu Yang rejected Chisui's advances, he thought that maybe Yu Yang was disgusted at the thought of going out with another man, and that's why they broke up. But of course, right from the start, they do let the readers know that Yu Yang also had feelings for Chisui, but why the reaction is what we'll find out in later chapters. If you've read other esports manhwa, then I'm sure you'll be familiar with some of the terms and the way these esports teams work and practice. But the dynamic in this manhwa is quite obvious. We have shy, timid Yu Yang and superstar confident Chisui, who will be encouraging Yu Yang out of his shell. So I'm not expecting anything completely different or unique. I just like the esports genre. Now the thing about this that really caught my attention is the studio behind this. Yes, the same studio behind Mo Dao Zushi. This is going to be good. So there you go. At least we have something to look forward to, right? I can't stand the quietness in the BL world right now. So Chinese BL is my only hope. I do wonder how many of you guys are a part of the Mo Dao Zushi and Tiangen Shifu's fandom. Can I see a show of hands? Thankfully, they are quite big in Southeast Asia. I know that some of you guys have requested that I review these two or make a video about these two, but the reason I never did, and I don't plan to, is because with Chinese BL, there are much better resources for you guys to refer to. From Southeast Asia alone, you can expect to get proper, accurate English translations regarding anything about the fandom. From the Malaysian Chinese, Singaporean Chinese, Filipino Chinese, Indonesian Chinese, because English is widely spoken in Southeast Asia compared to East Asia, and I don't know about other countries, but I can speak on behalf of Malaysia and Singapore. A lot of us are at least trilingual, and I'm talking about fluent in all three languages. So you can get much accurate English translated information regarding Chinese BL from these Southeast Asian descendants of Chinese ethnicity. Yeah, so I feel like I'm not the right person to talk about this genre. Like, I even butchered the names, okay? Pack your bags, cause we're going out to touch some grass. Losers. I feel like a lot of us at some point in our lives have dreamt of traveling the world, going on interesting adventures in a foreign land, admiring ancient architecture, and just exploring different cultures, only to have that fantasy shattered by our crippling anxiety. When it comes down to it, I always look at these fantasies through my realistic lens, and what I end up seeing is human trafficking, scams, wrong place, wrong time, getting lost in a land where you don't speak the language. I'm actually not exaggerating. These are my genuine fears, and also the reason why I stopped going on family vacations. I will stay safe in the comfort of my home, but even that comes with its own worries. Freak accidents. You can't run away from them. I'm just a ball of anxiety. And this is one of the contributing factors for why I'm an introvert. Another reason is because human interaction takes a huge toll on me. Just a hi, and I already feel drained. I think you can tell through my Instagram stories and all that I'm a very homey person. I like my me time. A lot of my me time. Which is how I came across the perfect BL manga for introverts like me. It's called Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide by Monet Sorai. Now for the trigger warnings, we have none. This is a very wholesome slice of life travel BL manga. If you're looking for some smexy adult time, this ain't it. I'll find something else for you next time. So in this manga, we have Asahi, a shy, reserved, worrywart, a stickler for organized routines, if this face doesn't say it all, and his boyfriend Mitsuki, a happy-go-lucky, carefree guy, the complete opposite of Asahi. Look Look at this adorable puppy. I wonder if he was also a dog in another life. Both of whom who are still closeted, embarking on a journey traveling around the world with the promise of tying the knot once they're done with their trip. That is if they're still together at that point. We end up following them to Thailand, India, Georgia in volume 1, and then Finland, Germany, France, and Italy in volume 2, but not Malaysia, of course. Ignore us like everyone else. Now volume 3 is not out yet, but the cover looks beautiful. So throughout their trip, we witness the ups and downs they face when their personalities clash, and the compromises they have to make. More importantly, we witness them learning and understanding each other with every place that they visit and the people that they come across. This is what a relationship is like. A real relationship. You think that once Alex popped the question, they now
wish
live
I had
happily
food.
ever after? You think all these completed
surprised I
BL
haven't been
just
getting
end with
any.
smiles and nothing else?
Oh
They
well.
never fought, they never cheated, they never went to attend their stepdad's wedding only to be spotted by their partner in a misunderstanding situation and then have their partner's dad bribe them and threaten them to stay away. This manga does a good job in showing us what comes after the confessions, after the I love
whatever.
yous. Because Asahi and Mitsuki met in school. They were schoolmates. Asahi is gay while Mitsuki is bi. They got together when they were in school, lived together as they got jobs, working, being
Oofed.
adults, while still being closeted to their family members. So we end up following their relationship from that point. An established relationship, which we don't get very often in BL. And when I
Well-
say we follow them to these countries, it literally
Nice.
felt like I was there with them, like a creep. Because the story wasn't just, oh look,
Creep.
we've landed in the
Creep.
lands of the Mamma Mias and the pizzas. No, their conversations on the food, places, the people was like a real travel guide. I learned so many things about the countries that they visited. A lot of research must have gone into
Whatever.
this. Even the art is beautiful. Look at these. Don't you feel like you're there with them? And for an introverted person like me, it was nice to enjoy these places and experience vicariously through them while introverted. It was nice to enjoy these places and experience vicariously through them while being in the comfort of my blankie. Reading this manga also made me realize how lucky and privileged I am, especially after reading Asahi's perspective on things, his fears on coming out to his family, thoughts on commitment and marriage to a same-sex partner in a society that has yet to accept it or be open about it. I'm Malaysian, but I grew up in a very open-minded environment. The media that I consumed, the environment that my parents placed me in, always exposed me to the outside world. But reading this made me realize that not everyone out there is as lucky. The worries that Asahi expressed about his relationship with Mitsuki was so raw, and it made sense when you think about the background that he's from. That's why it was so heartwarming to see the instances where he would come across LGBTQ plus couples or even posters during this trip and feel relieved that there are other people like him out there. It didn't occur to me how lonely it can be for some of you guys.
Bitch.
And they even met a lot of cool people. My favorites were Layla, a
Get
trans woman in
fucked.
Thailand with her tomboy girlfriend, Nina and Marika,
What about
a
everyone here?
newlywed, and Gina,
Whatever.
Mitsuki's grandfather's sister,
Rip
who is
bozos.
attracted to women. And Mitsuki is such a supportive partner. He knew about Asahi's worries, and he
Son of
respected
a
that, even
fucking
when he would have
cunt.
wanted the entire world to know that they were together. This manga also brought up the struggles that LGBTQ plus couples face when their union isn't legally recognized. It broke my heart to see how helpless Mitsuki felt when Asahi needed surgery, but the hospital needed consent from Asahi's family, and Mitsuki couldn't do anything to help him out. And that's why people push for gay marriage to be legalized. But all these sad, raw, emotional stuff aside, there are a lot of funny moments in this manga. Imagine Asahi freaking out over so many things and then hit Mitsuki brushing it off. I would recommend this if you are really looking for a slice of life BL to read over a hot cup of coffee. The art, the dialogue, I would say is very compact with details and information. You would want some time to process and appreciate everything on each page. And I can't wait to get my hands on volume 3. I don't know if they're getting married in this volume, but I know that they will be visiting England, Spain, and Morocco. So to those who are into slice of life stories like this,
on,
with
man,
proper
just
LGBTQ
fuck
plus
off.
representation, hope you guys enjoy reading this.
Just let me go.
Now let me know what kind of genre you'd like next, if there's anything specific you're looking to read, and I'll see what I have in my library. So earlier this year when Semantic Error came out, I was certain that it would be the best BL drama of 2022. I didn't expect that to change when Kinposh came into the picture. So for those who don't know, Kinposh is a Thai BL mafia drama that's based on a web novel that took the BL world by storm. If you've watched my other BL drama reviews, then you'd know that I was never really fond of Thai BL. For me, the acting was too cringy, too fake, overacting.
And then the storylines were too typical. Everyone's an engineer.
So when I heard about Kim Posh last year, a Thai BL mafia drama in the making, I didn't think much of it. I was expecting it to be as cringy as their other attempts at diversifying the genre. We're not gonna talk about that. And when I said I didn't watch it while it was airing, it didn't mean that I didn't come across spoilers.
Dude, I'm
So
so
when
sick
episode
of
1
this
was released,
island.
my
Holy
entire
shit.
YouTube and Instagram feed was covered with Kim Posh clips. Everyone was going nuts. I saw it and I was like, oh, high budget. But then I was still skeptical. So 1 week passes and we get episode 2 and everyone is going nuts again. Because of the sheer amount of clips that would be uploaded on Instagram and YouTube, I was actually able to tell who was who, what the story was about just through these clips. And even I'm like thinking, okay, you know what? This kind of looks nice. So I go onto Instagram and I ask you guys, should I give Kim Posh a watch? And everyone goes berserk. My DMs were full with people telling me to give it a watch. So I took note of that and decided to binge watch all the episodes once it was done airing. But I will
Oh, wait, I'm
confess,
fighting
okay, I
this
will come
fucker?
clean. I did cheat a little bit by watching weekly spoilers. You can't blame me, okay? It was everywhere. There was no way I could stay away completely, okay? It even reached the point where I would be waiting for people on Instagram and YouTube to do their thing and upload weekly highlights after each episode. That's how excited I was. And so once it was officially over, I binge watched it and I really enjoyed it. It's replacing semantic error for me. So what is Kim Posh about? So the story revolves around Posh, a college student who works as a bartender part-time
come on,
and
kill
somewhat
this fat
underground
fuck.
fighter in order to take care of his younger brother Porsche. Their parents died in a car crash and so Posh took on the responsibility to take care of his brother and try his best to keep the house that they lived in while their parents were alive. These all take a turn one night when Posh runs into Kin, being chased by dangerous looking
dude.
men. Striking a deal, he fights them off. Now impressed by his fighting skills, he is offered a job as a bodyguard for Kin, who is actually the second son of a mafia family. Things happen and Posh has no other choice than to take this job offer in order to continue taking care of his brother and paying for their house. And we see how he learns the ropes of being a bodyguard, living this new life, and the budding romance between Kin and
Is that
Posh.
it?
That summary does not do the story justice. There's actually a lot happening in this drama. Mafia
Alright,
family
whatever.
tensions between the main family and minor family. Rivalry between the
just
sons.
jump
The
over the
secret
railing?
behind Posh's parents' death. Side character relationships.
Like a
And I think this is
boss?
what made Kim Posh even better. So many stories, so many characters, the literal
on.
drama. There was not a single dull moment in this. There was always something happening. Now let's look at the characters. I'm going to try to sell this drama to you through the characters. Starting off with Kin. Oh yeah, I'm not going to pronounce their full names because I will without a doubt butcher them. So we have Kin and his bush for an eyebrow. I'm serious, those intense eyes, they can slice my soul. He's the second son of the Tirapan Yakul main
the
family.
fuck?
Next in line to be the head, he's very stubborn and hot-tempered. While that could be considered dangerous in his line of work, I'd say that it's a plus point in bed. His relationship with Posh can get toxic sometimes. And early on in the series, it is established that Kin is gay. And due to a
Lower the
traumatic
seal
past
package
relationship,
with
he
our
would have
spirit
guests every
loyalty,
now and then. Posh, a college student who cares so deeply for his
Where?
brother by taking on part-time jobs, one of it as a bartender. He is also a stubborn character. He hates being told what to do, which didn't go well
Fuck's
with
going
being
on
the
over
bodyguard
here?
of the literal mafia. But he is always on
Oh,
the
that's the
lookout
guy
for those who
beat.
are important to him, always protecting them. I like the fact that Posh was a "you're not gonna tell me what to do" kind of person, because I think that was necessary to deal with a character like Kin, who often got too controlling and too jealous. Kin needed
Where the
someone who
fuck
would
is
put
this?
his feet down so that they could stand on an equal level. He needed someone that he could be vulnerable with at times. He had too many yes men around him, so Posh's presence was very refreshing. And I like that it didn't feel as if it was a mafia protecting his boyfriend. Instead, it was just two individuals looking out for each other. I also liked how Posh always spoke his mind. It didn't matter that Kin is the mafia pointing a literal gun to his head. He stayed very true to himself. Of course, this made him do crazy things and landed him in crazy situations that had me rolling on the ground. Yeah, Kim Posh was unexpectedly funny. There were a lot of funny moments, and it wasn't just because of Posh, but the entire cast. And their acting wasn't cringy, it wasn't overacting. In fact, their chemistry of all the actors, and then Kim Posh especially, was amazing. A+. The juicy scenes were too juicy. I will say this now, do not watch this in public.
Sassy
You have
who?
been warned. Vegas and Pete.
Oh,
the
this
dark,
person?
toxic, kinky side couple. So Vegas is the son from the minor family who is portrayed as the antagonist, always trying to ruin Kin, take everything Kin loves, loves.
Am
He
I
is known to be
finally
a
off the
sadistic,
fucking
cunning character
nice,
who just needs
dude?
to be loved. Pete is the bodyguard to Kin's older brother Tankun. He's often tasked to spy on Vegas and dig up dirt on what he might be doing to ruin the main family. Pete is a very positive and cheerful character. He was very comedic in the beginning before he went undercover to the minor family's territory and then got caught by Vegas. As soon as Vegas Pete became the talk of the town, where everyone was like, their story is starting, their story is starting, I
fuck
became
yeah.
so intrigued that I went ahead and read the novel. The side story. I just had to read it, okay? Imagine sadistic, cunning Vegas falling for cheerful, happy Pete. How? Now, I will say that the story in the novel, like what happened in the novel, was a lot more toxic and traumatizing compared to what they showed in the drama. They changed some stuff to make it less toxic in the drama. Trust me, you do not want to know what Vegas did to Pete in the novel. Now, as much as I felt bad for Vegas, I mean, he didn't choose to be this way. He was only this way because of his dad. He didn't choose to be the villain. I still can't forgive him for what he did to Pete. And Tawan. I really thought that I would develop side couple syndrome with Vegas Pete, but after watching everything, I still prefer Kin Posh. Vegas Pete is very emotional. It really tugs at your heartstrings, but I prefer Kin Posh. Oh, and I have to say this, Bible is such an amazing actor. To think that he's such a soft-spoken introvert in real life compared to his character Vegas is just mind-blowing. And I wasn't expecting Bill to be older than Bible. Do you guys know that Bible is younger than me?
This place is fucking big.
Exactly. How? Am I just never going to age? Kim and Porsche. So Kim is the third son of the Tirabanyaku
this?
family. He's the youngest one who had distanced himself from the market
sure,
business
why
to
not?
pursue music. But actually, he was
I love
investigating
accepting
the drama
random
of his family
quests
behind
and
the scenes
shit.
and still looking out for his brothers. That's why he approached Porsche, Porsche's younger brother. He wanted to make sure that his brother was not in any danger with Porsche as a bodyguard. Porsche is this innocent, bubbly younger brother who liked Kim as a musician, but then he kept falling for him as they spent more time together, without knowing that Kim had an ulterior motive, which was to investigate his older brother Porsche. So whenever I saw Kim Chick clips roaming around the internet after each episode, I thought that they received more attention in the drama. I thought they had more screen time, but when I finally sat down to watch it, I was surprised that they didn't have enough screen time. Because everyone was like, Jeff, you know, our favorite sociopath. Too little screen time for me to get invested in their relationship. I mean, I felt bad for Porsche, but I will admit that I kinda liked seeing his bad boy
Yo, she kinda
makeover,
bad
you know?
though.
Well, deep down, I wish they had a happy ending. Tay and Time. Unfortunately, they're not the main or side couple. They're just an extension. They're
fuck you,
Kim's
bitch.
friends,
Who are you?
and they are definitely in a relationship. But not much of them is shown in the drama. Now, I'm very certain that there was more to their story in the novel compared to what was shown in the drama. But I will say this, that I like their vibe. I like looking at them. Very attractive. Tay especially.
Where
I just
am I
want to
supposed to
stare at
go?
them all day. I already want to see more of them now. Is this like what we call side couple syndrome? But who else is team let me see more Tay time? Tay time? Tay time? Oh my god. Their nicknames match. I'm a genius. No, I'm sure someone came up with it already. Some other awesome characters include Tankun, Kin's older brother who was deemed mentally ill after a kidnapping attempt when he was young and so was unfit to be the head of the
Do
family.
I have
He
to
is the
walk
best
all the
thing to
way
ever
up there?
happen to Kin Posh. I love his character and personality,
Is
so
there
over
an
the top,
elevator
so
or some
extra,
shit?
just perfect. We have the bodyguards who made the series funny.
I thought that said Ogrimmar
cunt.
cunt.
And this is what
I
I
just-
imagine the bodyguards to be
I
like.
just
We
missed
have
it.
the
Cool,
serious
awesome,
moments, we
epic,
have the funny
poggers.
moments. I'm so impressed that a Thai BL drama has made its way to my #1 spot. I did not see that coming. Now, since I didn't read the novel, I mean, I only read Vegas Pete's part, but I didn't read the entire novel. I can't comment much about it. I can only talk about the drama. Now, to those holding the same opinions that I held on to in the past about Thai BL dramas, Kin Posh will change your mind. The acting is good, the budget is high, cinematography is good, characters have amazing chemistry, and then the juicy scenes, the very spicy, juicy scenes. Of course, the entire drama isn't perfect. Like for me, I feel like they could have done more with the family rivalry stuff. I feel like they could have done better. And then there was
video
some toxic
games.
stuff that were romanticized in the drama, which I'm not that okay with. But these things are not that big to affect my overall view
I
of
hope
the
he doesn't
drama.
try to
To
add
me,
me or
this is
something.
still one of the best BL dramas of 2022.
about
Now,
that
I
life.
hope that they're going on a tour. You see, I'm from Malaysia. Malaysia is right next to Thailand. I swear to God, if they come to Malaysia, if they come to,
Wanna
you know
do
what?
my own
I should just go to
thing
Thailand.
and do
It's just
my own
nearby.
thing,
So
you
for those who
know?
haven't watched it, I hope you guys enjoy it. For those who have watched it, welcome to the club where we mourn over the
Is this a
ending.
witch?
Now that we've
Who the
lost our
fuck is
purpose
this?
in life. I may have binge watched it after it was
bitch,
over, but
what's
then again,
up?
I was also on the weekly journey of waiting for the spoilers.
This
And
place is
now
full
my
of
life is
baddies, huh?
meaningless.
Actually, I should probably try to repair my shit. I don't know where though.
When I said I wanted a new BL anime to watch, this is not what I meant. Can I take my prayer back? Is there a reverse switch? So yeah, we have a new BL anime in town. No, not really a BL anime. I would honestly call this a BL hentai. Yeah, that's what it is. Called Caressing the Nipples of My Hibernating Bear. I first found out about this through Arin Fantasy's tweet. Then when I looked it up, I was confused to see the Japanese title. Mori no Kumasan Tominchu. The Forest Bear
Wind
Hibernating.
Rider
What
Keeper.
an innocent,
Nope.
pure, sin-free title. How
Whatever.
did the
I'm just
Forest
gonna
Bear
go
Hibernating
to my
turn into Caressing the
destination,
Nipples of My Hibernating
which is
Bear? America,
downwards.
explain! I'm pointing my fingers
If
at
I
the
were to
US
jump,
because
am I
this
gonna
localized
die?
title was given to the English translation of this manga on Coolme, which operates under Wave, a digital entertainment company in
Whatever.
Texas. Stop tainting BL titles with your degenerate American minds. Okay, editing Josh here. After some further investigation, it
Don't-
appears that the
Fuck
Japanese
you, I'm
title
jumping.
is actually
Okay.
Mori no Kumasan to Minchu ni Chikubi o Mederaremashita, which means that the English title is accurate. Sorry Americans for jumping to conclusions, but y'all still have that habit with other mangas. This was the same thing that happened with Banana Fight Island, originally titled
Fuck
The
is
Eight Warriors in
Banana Fight
Japanese,
Island?
but then Sublime, an American publishing company, decided to name it Banana Fight Island. Why don't we just start naming all BL mangas literally? Pearl Boy? You mean my lover shoots pearls every time I rub his lamp? Painter of the Night? More like Honey Hentai Painter gets rammed. Sorry, I got carried away. Now why am I calling this a BL hentai? Because it's a comic manga. And this anime is by Anime Festa, formerly known as Comic Festa, the ones behind Papa Date Shitai, The Titan's Bride, by my best friend, reincarnated into Demon King.
I guess y'all can just disappear. That's cool. That's
Evangelion's
awesome.
World, which, if you're an active member of the BL community, you would know
fuck?
the nature of these shows. I have nothing against
Wait.
BL hentai, but I do have something against good BL stories, BL manga,
My game
being
crash or
taken
something?
and turned into something pointless.
Wait.
Like The Titan's Bride. What
Why
a
does it
nice
say Z?
isekai BL story, right? For those who read the manga. But as soon as Comic Festa laid their claws on it, it got reduced to
The fuck
this.
going on,
Now,
bro?
if I say I like The Titan's Bride, people just think I like BBB. Big
Well, it
brown
was fun
banana.
while it
So I'm sure it's
lasted.
gonna
I
be the
don't know
same
what
thing
the
with caressing
fuck is
the
going
nipples of my
on.
hibernating bear. Now, when I saw this image, it looked so familiar. I have a feeling that I may have read this at some point, but maybe dropped it because there are a lot of these types of furry
does this
BL
mean? I don't
manga.
fucking
But
know
still,
what
I'm
this
not gonna attempt to
means.
read this. I just want to watch the horror that
the
Comic
fuck
Festa has
happened
done.
to
So I'll give you a
everything?
synopsis after watching the first episode.
Oh, there's an
I
NPC.
am back! And I didn't have a problem with this. Yeah, I actually
Well,
kind of
everything's
like it.
back. What the fuck?
Okay, so what is
Okay.
it about? So episode 1 starts with Noah, an Asian black bear, stumbling across baby Airi, who's holding on to his mama. His dead mama. My heart, my kokoro. I hate children, but
Okay.
anime children, they're just special. So
Guess
he picks
I'm
orphaned
not supposed to
Airi,
talk to
who's
them or
actually
something?
an
I don't know.
Irish
Where the
wolfhound
fuck do I go?
mama. Yeah, it's going where you think it is.
Is
Now,
it-
as someone who has not
says
read
I'm
the
supposed to
manga,
go
I
up.
don't know much about the law of this world, and
But
they
up
don't
where?
explain
What?
much in the first episode. But I'm guessing this is normal. Yeah, just Noah in his bear farm, getting his nipples sucked by Airi. YouTube, this is a
What?
review. It's anime, it's Japan, I should be excused. I guess he was just reminded of his mama. You know, he was very young when he lost her. Why is he blushing? Do we have a furry Chris Hansen in this world? Yeah, so we're shown what their
the fuck
relationship
am I
is like.
listening
Airi
to?
is completely attached to Noah, his savior.
Let's not.
Don't turn your back on me!
It's time to stop staring at this Dunkin' sausage, egg, and cheese. And time to go get this Dunkin' sausage, egg, and cheese. For $3 with a medium or larger coffee, it's time for a Dunkin' run. America runs on Dunkin'.
Jiminy Christmas sports fans, buckle your seatbelts, cause I'm about to take you on a wild ride here. And I don't want your, noodle getting blasted against the side of your skull, cause this is a lot of information you're gonna need to be processing to keep up with the lore. So, yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of you have been keeping up with this as well, but I'm still going to lay out the bare bones of the situation. Yesterday, out of nowhere, there was a statement posted on Lil Tay's Instagram claiming that she has passed away, as well as her brother. Lil Tay is 14 years old, so
not
obviously
meant for
this
this
was
game.
very
Shit.
shocking to hear for a lot of people. It's
Whatever.
just an extremely sad situation.
Let's
Not only did she pass
go
away, but
somewhere
now they've
else.
just
Where's
revealed that
this?
the brother has also passed away. Just horrible all around. This was a huge story and just like a complete out of nowhere event that caught everyone by surprise. And it also seems a lot of people forgot who Lil Tay was because it's been 5 years since she's been active in the cyberspace, and in internet time, 5 years is ancient history. That shit's going back to like the primordial ooze. Nobody remembers things that happened 5 minutes ago, let alone 5 years. So I'll just go ahead and give you a brief refresher here. Lil Tay was a 9-year-old influencer who blew up in 2018 by posting content of her flexing money. She'd also do tours of mega mansions talking about how she buys them all the time. She'd be in expensive sports cards and say
Bro,
shit like,
holy
I don't have a license, but that doesn't mean that I still can't own the goddamn Batmobile. And then she'd do like a fan of money, like she was a magician asking you to pick a card, but the only card there was Benjamin Franklin's. The content was basically just, here's a 9-year-old who's saying absurd things and has a seemingly absurd amount of money. Now, obviously, no 9-year-old is going to really act this way. This was all a persona. But it turns out it wasn't like her idea or anything. It's actually a pretty sad situation. As more details arose here, it turns out the people closest to her were the ones basically controlling her whole life. They gave her this role that she was forced to play. They'd tell her what to do and what to say, and they'd get all of the expensive cars and mansions set up so that way she could go film content in there and flex on everyone so that way they could capitalize off of her viral fame. It's a classic case that we've seen a million times in Hollywood with absolutely degenerate scum using their kids to live vicariously through and make money off of. It's just abhorrent shit, really. Now, obviously, when this news broke, everyone was surprised and upset. However, there was a small number of people who got suspicious because in the past, the Lil Tay Instagram account has actually posted something out of the blue before with some very disturbing allegations. It's since been deleted and buried, but it was enough to at least put it on people's radar as something that maybe requires a little more investigation just to ensure that there's no fishy business or it's not some kind of lie or some hacker pretending to be the family of Lil Tay and making this announcement. So there's a group of people that did some super sleuthing, cosplaying as L from Death Note and just putting together the puzzle pieces, and most notably this included TMZ. So they had been contacting like police departments as well as other organizations just asking if they had any death certificates or records of her passing or her brother's passing, to which they all said no. And eventually, TMZ apparently got in contact with Lil Tay herself directly, who confirmed that it was all a ruse. Her and her brother are very much alive, and all of this hoopla was the result of a hacker getting access to
How
her
many of these do I
Instagram.
gotta get?
She said, I
mean,
want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I'm completely heartbroken and struggling to even find the right words to say. It's been a very traumatizing 24 hours. Now, this whole situation is so fucking weird then, because there's actually an even deeper layer here. The question would obviously be, why would a hacker bother doing this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And right now, the leading theory is that it ties into crypto. And let me explain. I actually learned about this from a publication speculating on why this might have even been posted in the first place. So it turns out there is a crypto coin called Lil Tay token, and it's existed for a little while now, though I don't think it's fully released or anything like that. But in the wake of all of this information here with like the fake out that Lil Tay and her brother are dead, people were wondering what the fuck would anyone even gain by making up that lie. So they turned their attention back to the Lil Tay token, and this account is actually pretty active on Twitter. They're denying that this was all a publicity stunt. This is actually spearheaded by someone who has worked closely with Lil Tay in the past. So, the theory does hold a bit of water. They wanted to get Lil Tay's name out there in a big way to get a ton of publicity and hype around her. So they went with the Dino Spumoni approach here from Hey Arnold with the fake death thing. And it got everyone talking about Lil Tay, which in turn would get people to talk about Lil Tay token when it drops. Maybe the idea was drum up all of this interest around Lil Tay's name, then this crypto token comes out and people buy it in honor of her memory. And I think that is the stupidest idea ever. If that is actually the root of all of this evil here with this whole situation, that would be a dumber idea than the fucking shake weight. That is so stupid. That would make no sense. There is no logical thought process that would go into someone saying like, man, it really sucks that Lil Tay and her brother passed away so young, that's tragic, and then being like, in order to show support to their memory, I'm going to buy an overpriced crypto shitcoin. That's what they would have wanted. Like, that's just not going to happen. This would never move tokens. This would never sell crypto for them. So I don't really think that's what the whole purpose was, but it's also hard to deny that there is a chance, with how degenerate the internet's become, that a team might actually try this. So it's possible, but I think it's unlikely. I think one thing is very clear here, though. Lil Tay is surrounded by bad people. They told her everything to say back in 2018, saying awful things, doing garbage shit for the sake of being a viral celebrity so that they could make money off of her. She is surrounded by fucking parasites. The people that she's supposed to be able to trust and rely on most in her life seem to be the ones that are controlling her whole life for their own personal gain financially. It's so sad. But I would like to expand a bit on what I alluded to earlier, where this isn't the first post that's popped up on her account from somebody else about some very disturbing stuff. A couple years ago, there was actually a post on her Instagram talking about how she needs to be saved from her abusive father, and it linked to a GoFundMe page which raised like $17,000, alleging that the father was abusing her and a lot of other really disturbing allegations as well. It was started by her brother and alleges that the father is evil and abusing her and doing everything he can to control all of her money, and it also has like a bunch of pictures as well as evidence. It says that the goal of the GoFundMe is to free her from the life of abuse that she currently lives, and that they're going to be doing everything they can to get her away from the father. And I believe that's through the like court system, but I haven't been able to find any information on that or any updates on the situation at all. There's only one update provided on the GoFundMe, and that was like a week after it launched, where this is what was said. I want to take this time to personally thank everyone that believes the truth and supported Tay even through the conspiracy theories. Please realize the Supreme Court case directly involving a minor is not public information. All documents are sealed and will not show up in the registry. The truth will eventually come out. Chris Hope owes $400K in child support and has stolen millions. Just now speaking about this because I no longer am a minor and now have the right to do so without harming my family legally. All people alleging that I am stealing money through a GoFundMe, please look at the facts, look at the police reports and the abuse. This is a serious situation. I feel like if you raise $17,000 for a situation as serious as this, you would want to keep people updated on what's happening here, and people would want to know. But somehow, this has just flown completely under the radar. I can't find any follow-up to any of these claims or anything that's happened since this GoFundMe. The brother hasn't said anything on it, which is fucking weird. A lot of people apparently accuse this of being a scam, claiming that the brother was taking the money here from the GoFundMe for himself, just pocketing it. And I can see why people would think that, because he hasn't fucking said anything about it. He hasn't given any updates on anything here. It's just been complete radio silence for the last couple of years where no one knows what's going on with this. And that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you keep people in the loop, especially because it's so serious and people are directly donating to try and do their best to help? The brother of Lil Tay has been a very controversial person since the beginning of Lil Tay's career, where there's a lot of accusations against him for a lot of different things. So the fact that all of this here, the hashtag Save Lil Tay movement, all of it that he was putting out there to try and get some steam behind, has just vanished without a trace from him or anyone else involved here. It's all really weird. So the post out of the blue claiming that both Lil Tay and her brother had died is not the first time that something has popped up on her Instagram out of the blue with some very alarming stuff. So the whole thing is baffling. It's such a weird mess. I don't know why a hacker would take over her Instagram account to make that post, and I also don't see why anyone on her team would make that post either. There's just nothing to be gained from anyone, no matter what angle you spin it. Like, even the crypto angle, assuming that theory is even remotely true, there's nothing to gain there. Like, there's no one wins. Like, nothing makes sense about this situation. So yeah, it's just been a weird, wild ride here with this whole story that I just wanted to go over. That's about it. See ya.
Hello, guys and gals, me, Mudahar, and today we're going to fight a little bit of misinformation where I purposefully spread misinfo on the internet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that there's a fair amount of you that went through an emotional roller coaster like me yesterday when it came to a dead individual. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may not know of who Little Tay is, but Little Tay is a flexer, I guess you could say, an epic flexer. This is an individual that has been known to, I guess their claim to fame was back in 2018. They would just show up with stacks of bills, buy the Raris, the Lambos, the mansions. And again, if you wanted to really look into this, it was like really the mom, the parent of the child, who was like basically, they worked as a realtor. So there were situations where like they had access to like the boss's Mercedes-Benz, you know, a few luxury condos in Vancouver, and Little Tay would flex around. Literally, there were rich dudes who were like, wow, I can't wait to see what's going on in this old thing. Wait, is that my house? What's an 8-year-old doing in it? It's crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, it was an insane situation. And of course, that's pretty much all you need to know. I'm not the biggest Little Tay expert. This is a little kid at the end of the day. You know, for me, it was always like, you know, some influencer, you know, just... It's basically like, it's just a kid flexing, okay? It is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, yesterday it came out to some pretty sad information that unfortunately she had passed. Now, of course, the reason I'm making this video is waiting 24 hours, TMZ comes out with an exclusive. She ain't dead. In a statement provided to TMZ from Tay's family, I want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I am completely heartbroken and struggling to find the right words. So apparently she'd been getting a shit ton of calls, and that's because the Instagram account was compromised by a third party and used to spread jarring misinformation. Now, what was the misinformation, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go down the rabbit hole. Because believe it or not, I'm going to give you a little primer. This ends with a possible crypto scam. Of course it does, like all things. Now, one of the posts early morning was this from our Instagram account. It's with a heavy heart that we share the devastating news of our beloved sudden and tragic passing. We have no words to express the unbearable loss and indescribable pain. Her brother's passing adds an even more unimaginable depth to our grief. So quite literally, this is a 2-for-1 sale on dead children. And obviously, dead kids attract a lot of human empathy, as it should. Equipped? And, you know, a lot of news agencies picked up on this, and they started offering their retractions when things got a little bit weird. So one of the weird red flags immediately was it came out from publications. The Vancouver and Los Angeles police departments have denied they're investigating the death of Little Tay. Claims they have no record of her death and have not been alerted of her death at all. So this was kind of a weird situation. I mean, clearly the internet and this social media team is so keen on telling people these two individuals have passed away, but law enforcement doesn't seem to actually care. Then, of course, the LA County's coroner office told the Daily Beast that they had no record of either her or her brother. And then, of course, the law enforcement agencies in Vancouver PD, said it hadn't received reports of their death either. As of now, we are not aware and are not investigating. So to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I find it really weird when a law enforcement agency just says they don't care. Okay, like, we have no record. We're not even going to investigate. That just means that they're probably pretty certain that this is such bullshit that it's way out of their realm of caring. Now, of course, there was a lot of crazy speculation because clearly, you know, if somebody passes away, there should be some actual explanation. So, of course, the entire world headed to the family to ask, you know, for basic comment. And, of course, CTV News, one of the biggest news agencies in Canada, reached out to the dad, a former manager, who basically said that they were unable to corroborate the claims of her death. Now, this is a wild scenario to get down to, ladies and gentlemen. How is it that the immediate family member is not going to be notifying people of their death? Why would they not, like, outright deny that there wasn't, in fact, any death? How are you like that out of touch? So, again, there is a extra bit of context in the situation, but there is a messy divorce in this entire process. One that I'm not going to get into because it's not in my purview. And honestly, there's other channels that discuss that a lot better.
Stab her right in her ass.
But of course, ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely questionable that these red flags were raised. And of course, the entire community started to bring up other possible scenarios. So a couple days ago, this news article from the Vancouver Sun said an Alberta teen died after a jet ski accident in Skaha Lake in Penticton. So 4 youths were seriously injured when 2 jet skis collided in the middle of the lake. one died from her injuries. So people said, oh shit,
Who the
dead,
fuck is this
maybe,
guy?
maybe that was them. Now, if you don't remember, there was a 2-for-1 sale on dead kids. This
Bro, I wanna
reference
be
is
this
one.
dude.
Now, if you put your thinking hats on, where's my thinking hat? I don't have a thinking hat. We're gonna be stupid. Why would the cops not know or identify who these people were? Obviously, they're minors, but clearly the cops should know in their own personal records who these people were that died or were injured. Because obviously, in order to discover if one had died, there would have to be law enforcement agents or EMTs or emergency personnel present to confirm. So again, this couldn't have been it. And, while people were sharing this information, it was shocking as hell to me how anybody was believing it. Now, the other bit of weird situations came out from internet sleuths who started to look into their accounts. Little Tay's YouTube account had their bio changed to help me. Now, this is a little weird, if so. Now, from what I've heard, the brother of Little Tay is a little wild clickbaiter Andy, clickbaiter Clint. But again, this is one of those scenarios where people dug into the Wayback Machine and they probably realized that this was several months old. Now, of course, there were other accounts that were basically hanging around on the internet claiming to be Little Tay. So this one, Termani, was coming out of nowhere and saying, to be clear, I'm not dead. I don't have access anymore to the Little Tay Instagram account. My sister and I were winning our case. It was just a couple days before we got it all back, all our social media, and come out about the truth. So they said our parents want us gone off the internet, but we will not go away. This is our new account. They are spreading misinformation. Now, of course, how is this confirmed to be real? Nobody knows. They just read one bio. This was shared around on Twitter or whatever so much. And in the time that this account got 100K followers, which, how are you going to use the clout you gained off of a potentially dead child into anything positive or money-making? Why on the, like, come on now. There were so many fake accounts that popped up like Termani. Everyone was trying to capitalize off of this dead child's clout. Insanity, okay? Possible dead child. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the weirdest situations that falls a little bit into my purview was the actual former manager, or one of the former managers. This is the Hairy Voice with 240K followers, okay? Video games play reactions.
It's Little Tay really passed away. I'm going to share the information I have obtained so far. My name is Harry Sang. I was the last known manager of Little Tay. Also, I have been in some of her videos before.
Be careful, terrified.
Oh man, this poor dude got hit with a cake. What did the cake do wrong? Come on now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this individual, if you go back to their TikTok account, you can see that they have a page called Harry DCC. Now, Harry DCC, ladies and gentlemen, leads me to a WordPress setup, which I guess this is just going to fail anyways. So clearly the page has been kind of wiped.
I want to stay
It's
here.
been kind of reversed. But of course there was another page that I ended up finding out a Hairy Voice.
We don't.
And this one was a little bit questionable. So as I was talking to Atozi yesterday, who has covered this topic extensively in the past. So as I was talking to Atozi, this page, Hairy Voice, which again led to this Little Tay token. Now, if you're hearing the siege footage in the background, yes, I am reinforcing my way away from the cringe that we're about to get into. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Hairy Voice, right? So I looked up who the Hairy Voice was on the Wayback Machine. And lo and behold, it takes me to this Web 1.0 page, obviously not loaded in right. I looked at the FAQ. Thankfully, I came across a main page from the individual where they were just sharing memes of the day. Marked safe from being raided by the FBI. Here's a closer page here. Owning an iPhone 14 is a bad idea. Now, what is a bad idea, ladies and gentlemen, is having any links to a crypto token shenanigan. Now, here you can see that Hairy Voice right now is, we are currently closed as of today. But of course, Little Tay token is also, we are currently closed. In fact, if you look very similarly to both websites, they've kind of got the same sitemap going on too. So what is Little Tay token, my young Padawans? Well, let's dive into that little rabbit hole together. Little Tay token is an ERC20 hybrid of meme and utility token that intends to produce passive income to our token holders. Oh, gee, it's a brand that takes business interests in different industries such as art, clothing, entertainment, gaming, and software development on the widely recognized legendary Little Tay, youngest flexor of the century meme. Sorry. I hate humanity. Degen loves memes. Memes equal hype. Little Tay is a meme that has existed since 2018. So they've got things like the sniper bot, getting tired of being sniped or sandwiched by professionals, scumbags, sorry, you mean when you invest. Good news, Little Tay Token is developing a one-of-a-kind sniper and MEV bot that will help you and others like you turn the tide against the scumbags, scammers, just say that. So anyways, they got some tokenomics, I guess. They got a roadmap, like a clothing brand launch, some production company launch. Scam! Fucking scam! That's what it's a scam! Now, the Little Tay token that we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is an abject failure. It launched literally last night. And from what I've seen, it's got literally 18 bucks of trading volume. Nothing really happened in this situation. Little Tay to USD went up, 342,000%, dropped 98. We're operating on fractals of a penny, okay? This is worth nothing! And there's some people that put money into it. There was also another token, the RIP Little Tay token, which is currently trading at a $55 price point. $8,000 of trading volume. And yeah, there was definitely a few people. I've seen this post on Twitter myself, where you know, literally under this girl's death, there was like, "Hey guys, make sure to trade RIP Little Tay, okay?" And there's some people that paid 300, 200, 111. You deserve to go to a special layer of hell if you bought this, okay? In fact, I actually hope the worst for you as a person if this is how bad, this is how down bad you are. This is why crypto gets a bad rap, okay? It's not because people like me are talking about it. I used to like crypto. I thought crypto would be like a future. This is why crypto gets a bad rap, because degenerates like this exist. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, the account was hacked, from what it seems. That's the going story. Now, again, a lot of people can assume that this is a marketing stunt, and it may be, it might. I mean, hey, realistically, this is something people are going to figure out a week or two down the line anyways, when there's probably going to be a police investigation about all of this, because it raised such an actual, you know, pandemonium around the world, okay? Not around the world, but like in our region of the world, you know, North America, we were kind of worried that a little 14-year-old girl and her brother had passed away. Now, of course, there was a lot of misinformation, but hopefully today's video helped you dissect some of that misinformation, and hopefully you walked away from this understanding that you shouldn't just jump the gun immediately. I wanted to wait a bit because I was kind of reeling from the emotional impact. I didn't even want to talk about this. I mean, if somebody had passed away, that's just a bad thing. But of course, nobody passed away, so the best news is children are alive. What is hilarious, though, is there were some crypto bros who ended up getting scammed on a RIP Little Tay token, which I hope they lose all their money. I actually do really want to have some questions asked to the former Harry Sang, one of the former alleged managers, as to why their domain address is kind of linking to this Little Tay token. What was that even about in the first place? Because even if you, like, the thing is, the token existed for a while, but like it literally didn't launch until the moment she went missing. So again, I really want to know the answer behind it. I feel like it's, no matter what, it's just, it could range from nefarious to downright just slightly less nefarious, but I want to know the answer to it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like it, dislike it. This is me, Mutahar, and
outside out, son.
I didn't have to do no retractions like any of these big publications.
Big ass thunder. Goddamn.
Jesus Christ. Can never trust the media, man. I am out.
Now I'm gonna have to do this in silence. Goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. Poggers, bruh. Shit. Where are the guards? Why are we not in Viz? Why didn't we stay in Viz? Did we escape? Oh shit. Worgen, whatever. Don't know why we didn't stay invisible, but you know, whatever. How? Where? What? Yo, I'm short. Wait up, bruh. Nah, let's keep fucking running. The fuck? It'd be so much better if my daggers weren't fucking broken. God damn it, dude. Fuck me. Not gonna lie, I don't even know what half my abilities even do. The fuck does 7 do? Summons and dismisses your... Okay. Bro. There's no shot that both of my weapons are fucking broken. No. Like... Whatever. This ain't even that bad. Ow. Yes, we can. Yo, this is like Scooby and the gang, bruh. Alright, well. Sure, why not?
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar, and I got my fellow co-host Caleb Oompaville and Nux Taku, and of course, as you all know, we've got Willie Mac, our friend. You already lit up? You already lit up a fat cigar today, man. You should have told me. I would have brought a whole.
We got our boy, the bottom
top
W, Willie over here.
The bottom W. Oh god.
You're not supposed to inhale it.
How do these things work?
But ladies and gentlemen, obviously Willie Mac is one of the best Tate Sims that we've ever brought onto our call
True,
here.
I'm his biggest fan.
The top
Your entire
W.
channel is just a Tate hate channel right now.
Dude, I
I'm
honestly
going for a
love
4th
how-
video too. We're at 3 videos in a row. I got another one.
Dude, I just love how like you've went down like you're the
Swag.
only dude that's deconstructing the
I'm
rabbit
down the rabbit hole. There's no going back.
Crazy to think that.
I'm ready. Let's go. True.
The last time I spoke to Willie, we were watching. He showed me dog hentai.
You showed me dog hentai. Is anyone gonna believe that the guy that's an anime character was the one that wasn't showing the dog hentai?
I have the video.
Unbelievable.
Dude, last week we had Turkey Tom, and I gave him the same bit.
But how y'all
Good.
guys been doing actually for the last for the last week? What have you guys gotten into? I feel like we all have a story.
So I realized that Quebec is it's the ass crack of the internet. You got me, Steven Crowder, and XQC, as
Die,
three
you horrid
Montrealers,
scum.
and I think this does not bode well for my future.
Jesus Christ. Kale, what about you, buddy?
Who?
Well, I saw a UFO.
Did you now? Hold on, wait a
I
minute.
actually
Bro,
saw.
we can like
I
get
actually
through
saw
the
the Falcon 9
cracks,
decoupling.
like, we can get through
That's
that
what I
right
really saw.
there.
But it,
like, right
it was a
here.
UFO, and in the moment, I was believing that it was a UFO, and I was like, "This is probably the Falcon 9 rocket that I just watched launch about an hour ago." But at the same time, it's a UFO for sure. So I saw a UFO. I believe in aliens now. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're
When did you like
We
not
up.
believe in that shit? You're the most
Oh, dude.
conspiracy guy I know.
Dude, I've been on it since I was a little kid.
right?
What,
You know
what
about Xenia in
started
particular?
the alien conspiracy rabbit hole for you?
That's a good question.
Did you see
I don't
something,
know.
or did you just watch like a movie and now you're like, I'm in?
Well, maybe I was a kid. I used to live in Virginia, right, in the woods, and a lot
That's
of
where it
Fox News,
happens.
a lot of Fox News on the TV, and they were always talking about illegal aliens, and I think that's where I kind of
All
picked
right.
it up. So.
I'm not sure if that's the same. No,
Oh, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just
it's
let
He
it-
was
Okay.
he was a kid. He
I didn't know.
didn't care if they
didn't
were
know.
illegal.
No, the movie Signs. I watched the movie Signs, and it fucking traumatized me for years, and I like slept under blankets as a little kid, and just dreamt and thought about aliens. The folds of my brain that are responsible for thinking about extraterrestrial life are very deep and modeled. So we have a lot of I have a just very strong brain for believing in things that aren't real.
That movie was scary until the aliens died by water, and then it's like, dude, they came to a planet that's like 70% water. It's fucking
So
the
stupid.
dumbest shit.
Dude, I
is going
just,
on?
I love like when you guys get. No, go ahead, I want to see more of this.
Also, the War of the Worlds, though, the movie The War of the Worlds, they died from a fucking virus.
COVID.
Yeah, they got COVID and died.
They all
So it's
got
like,
the aliens
it's
got
so
COVID
stupid.
and died.
If the aliens just were like a fucking bubble, or they just weren't massive pussies and died from water, they'd be a lot scarier. But I think these aliens are real. What do you guys think?
I listen, man. I firmly believe that I've already been anal probe. Like I feel like I have been.
Damn.
There's been. I think I have been. I mean, I'll be honest. Like I like to.
Why the
pretend
fuck
that I
is my
repress these
camera
things, but I
stuck
don't.
over
I think
here?
I
What?
think at some
Okay,
point,
well,
like
whatever,
I'm
fuck
one of
you.
the surveillance gates.
Fuck
to the
off, game.
aliens and
Pissing
shit.
me
I
off.
do firmly believe in this stuff.
Okay.
I 100%. I don't
Why?
like listen. There have been
Why
too many
the fuck
weird
you
stuff.
doing that?
There have been times where I've driven, like I've been
There you
driving
are, what
home
the
and
fuck?
shit, and like I'm almost, I don't know. You see weird lights around where I live because I live rurally now. I don't live near the cities and shit. This is like prime ground zero for harvesting human bodies. So I don't know, man. There's some weird experiences from time to time. Too many for me to just say it's a coincidence at this point, you know? Too many weird lights and shit.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
I'm a hater, bro. There ain't no aliens. We'd have
I
some
am
shit
such a
by
hater.
now. I'm a
I am
fucking
such a
hater. There
hater.
ain't no aliens out there.
Okay, dude, have you seen Marvel's Secret Invasion? No, you haven't. No one's seen
No.
Marvel's Secret Invasion, the new Marvel show. So, I was
Okay.
How much of this do we
Okay.
gotta go through? God
And
damn.
nobody watches Disney crap.
Oh, it's
watches
Disney.
None of us
I
adult
just,
men.
I heard the premise, and I was like, wait a second, this makes no sense. You have these aliens, right? These lizard people, and they are like these crazy extraterrestrial advanced race. They're an advanced civilization that can hyper travel and all that stuff. And they come
Shit.
to Earth, and they meet Nick Fury, and they say, we want you to promise us that you will help find us a home on another planet. And he's like, I promise I will. And he doesn't.
Bro, what the fuck? What is he, a real estate
Right?
agent?
And then he says,
Go and find something for yourself.
He says, I promise I will. And they say, okay,
Yeah,
we
why
trust
would Nick
you.
Fury
And
know
he
about
doesn't,
the best
right?
planets to go inhabit?
Right? So he obviously doesn't do that. And then they're like, you broke your promise. We will now cause World War III. And they try to wipe out the human race.
So Ukraine is because of the aliens.
That's the plot.
I get it.
Dude, I swear, we're getting striked in every capacity today, bro. COVID, Ukraine,
Did you
the
guys
red pill.
Did you guys see what Grimes said about Ukraine?
No, I didn't see what the fuck she said. What?
She said, wouldn't this whole thing be a lot better if Russia and Ukraine just settled it in Fortnite?
Bro, honestly, what
She
a
said
smart
that.
way to do
Yeah.
that.
And she's like,
Dude,
Finally, the correct.
Dude, there's just no way. Was this posted on X?
oh, I don't know, dude. It's just a video I saw recently, and she expects an applause and laughter for
fuck just
her
happened?
enlightened statement, but she is just met with embarrassing silence. It's really
Dude, I just wish
sad.
the U.S. stopped calling the AC-130 on the Iraqis in Modern Warfare 1, bro. What the That's crazy. That's see, this is why I love like social media and like some of these celebrities, dude. They say some of the wildest shit. Like recently, one of our favorite celebrities, Andrew Tate. You've been on the front lines watching every single video. How is it that your brain is still
It's
active?
barely functioning.
And then
it's barely. I'm becoming Andrew Tate slowly over time.
I mean, considering the last time you were on here, how you're dressed, yeah.
People are acting like Andrew Tate too is like I've done all this
Bro,
like amazing
fuck.
digging and connecting the dots. It's like, no, dude, it's just go translate any Romanian news outlet. It's just transcripts upon transcripts and video after video of what Andrew Tate said. And it's just Andrew Tate being like, yep, I trafficked those hoes. Yep, we trafficked the shit out of them. Those dumb bitches. Beat the fuck out of them and trafficked them. That's what I did. It's like, I'm sitting there looking at him like, yeah, it seems pretty guilty. Like,
This is what when I first like ever talked about it in my video, I literally
Now
was
what?
like, I think I was like maybe like the fucking 3 other people on the English side of the internet that was like, I'm not gonna go to Fox News or see, I'm just gonna go right to this like Romanian news website and just Google translate the page. I mean, shit, the way that he's talking,
Well, it's
yeah,
like, or
he's
just
pretty
go to
bad.
DICOT or
Yeah.
go read the indictment or whatever, dude. Like, probably the most frustrating thing is seeing how, like, English-speaking news outlets have covered it. Because they're all just focused on him being, like, a misogynist. It's like, that's like, we've covered that. Like, 2 years ago, we knew he was a fucking misogynist or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
It's also not even illegal.
Yeah, it's just
shitty.
like, yeah, all right. But now it's like, this guy's, if he's trafficking people, like, I feel like that should be the priority. Like, Tucker did a
Yeah.
whole interview with him where Tucker's like, so you've never been accused of or violence, right? And he's like, nope, never. Dude, the first thing it says on the indictment
Okay.
is 14
Easy win,
cases
easy
of
W.
or whatever, and then physical
I mean,
violence.
it's kind of funny. It's like the whole internet heard him say that, you know, they have nothing on me, and they just believed him.
Yeah, it's like, do you know what's infuriating is he's gotten to the point where he's taken down all of his old videos off of YouTube that people have re-uploaded. Like, he's taken them down. Like, they're gone now. And
Yeah.
he's now taken those same videos out of context and just cut it with, like, sad music, and is like, he's cut out a part where he's like, you can't be a pimp through fear. You have to be a pimp through love and respect. And he cuts it out and he's like, see, I've only talked about how I love women. It's like, bro, that's not what he's actually saying in that video. Like, in that same video, he talks about how you shouldn't pay the girls, and you should lie about, like, taking money for taxes so you could pay them a smaller percentage, because girls
that
are
part
dumb
is,
bitches.
is wild. Yeah, that part's wild. Let me handle the tax. Let me take the
take
tax. Like,
30%.
imagine lying.
Yeah.
Imagine just lying about money that just seems so evil, right? That's not very G.
Well,
That's
and
not
then,
very G.
the funniest thing is, like, the people I follow, it's like, yeah, but that's just being a smart businessman. I'm like, oh, that's being
It's
a fucking
fraud.
criminal.
It's literally illegal. You can't do
asshole.
that.
No, because, like, when we pay people, like, at our office, it's just, like, we literally, like, write them in their pay stub. It's like, this is how much money that's taken out for taxes and payroll and all that shit. Like, it's all broken down, you know? Nobody can come to the fucking accounting
Yeah.
and, like, say shit.
Yeah, but I bet you don't have any women working for you, do you?
Absolutely. That, I need productivity, bro.
See, with women, you don't have to give them the pay stub. You just take the money and pay the taxes for them.
yeah, pretty
Muda.
much. Yeah,
Who to har? Don't you? Oh, you're the guy that fucking thought he got the W over XQC.
Dude, that was, dude, I'll be real, my whole brain was so broken that discussion. Like, I wake up, okay, so I quote tweet, like, because he's like, you people, like, what's the problem? So I'm like, man, I'm paying for Twitter Blue. I'm gonna write the paragraph today. I'm gonna write the essay.
The funniest,
'Cause I got
the
that.
funniest comment is you guys were writing like essays back and forth, and like, so I think it was like Nick responded like, "This is the worst update Elon has ever made. Is allowing these longer tweets."
She taking that good shit, bro. What the fuck?
Hey, it's me, your skin. Some cleansers get us
Hey,
clean,
it's
but
me.
take my moisture.
off.
CeraVe.
Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by our friends over at ExpressVPN, ladies and gentlemen. Are you using your smartphone without a case? Well, you should probably get a case, but whenever you're browsing the internet, you should also get a VPN, which is like a case for your network stack. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network, basically cafes, hotels, airports, any
fuck's she
place with a
gonna do?
public Wi-Fi connection, your data is not secured. So any hacker on the same network can sift through, sniff around, wire shark out your personal information, passwords, financial details, anything secret and juicy, and basically go to town with it. And it doesn't actually take a lot of technical knowledge at all, too. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, to understand your
It's a
data
dime
is
missing,
valuable. I've
or-
talked about it on my channel, on this podcast, everywhere. There are hackers out there that
It's
can
a
earn up to
Dickosaurus.
$1,000 selling your information, your personal information on the dark web. And that information can be used for very nefarious purposes
Is she-
against you.
is
So
she,
don't be a victim,
Moses,
be
right?
prepared. ExpressVPN uses a secure
Is
encrypted
Moses the
tunnel
one
between
who
your
split
device
the
and
ocean?
internet. Basically, hackers cannot steal your sensitive data as long as you've got your VPN active. It's super secure. It would take a hacker a
Nice.
literal supercomputer and a billion
That
years
one
to get
guy,
past the encryption that ExpressVPN
the one
uses.
survived.
And of course, it's incredibly easy to use. Fire up the app, click
Must
one
be
button,
canon.
and you're connected. And of course, if you want to use it on multiple tools like tablets, multiple phones,
Swag.
laptops even, you can have their application run on pretty much any modern internet-connected device. So ladies and gentlemen, secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/SOP. That's expressvpn.com/SOP. And you get an extra 3 months free. Anyways, let's get back to the episode. No, because I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna write my entire statement. I'm gonna just say what I have to
I want
say.
to talk about the DMCA stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do too. Yeah.
I'm down.
Muda, you want to recap
Before
it
we
real
get into
quick?
the
That was
React-
fun.
Before you get
So-
into the React content, just wanted to mention, this week has potentially been the craziest case of
11
DMCA abuse.
gold.
Aside from the
100
private stuff
quests
that we've been dealing
complete.
with,
Hell,
Muda,
fucking
with,
yeah.
mutual
I'm
friend of
a
ours,
G.
which is
I'm
just
top
Right.
G,
horrible.
mate.
Aside from that, there's also been a kind of crazy thing where Guinness Book of World Records, they started DMCA striking
minute,
channels that
hurry
had
up,
the
hurry up.
Guinness logo in thumbnails, right? So like, for example, Laserbeam
That
had
shit's
a video.
crazy.
You know, it's like most kills in Fortnite or something like that, and he had like the Guinness logo in his thumbnail, like to talk about how he pulled something off. He got a strike on that video, and Mr. Beast's team removed every Guinness logo from all of his thumbnails. Like, this was a really serious thing that went on over the last like 2
Well,
days.
that's what terrifies me with all this DMCA talk going on about like I've heard Destiny, like Muda, you were in that same live stream, say like, oh, we should just DMCA people. It's like, dude, we do not
Bro,
know
what
the
the
legal
fuck is
limits
going
of
on?
where like this will be ruled or how this
Like
could
my
go. Like
lung
this could be a
hurts or some
mess.
shit.
Like
There's
if we
like
got
a
Guinness.
Well, I
striking
said it with
for
Destiny.
thumbnails.
I'm like,
imagine how messy that could be on YouTube, especially when a bunch of small creators don't have any money to defend themselves.
Well, that's what I said with Destiny. I'm like, you can start these DMCA's, but I'm like, if the moment it goes to court and it turns out to be bad, it ruins at least all of us, like, directly. Because a lot of us do commentary here, so we're kind of screwed. Like, maybe, like, if
What level am I
DMCA
even?
goes the wrong way, legally
Still
speaking,
17
right? Like,
poggers.
and this is the way that it works for people who don't understand. On YouTube, when
I need to
you
remember
get,
to
when
repair my
somebody doesn't
shit.
like the cut of your jib, or like somebody thinks that you stole
Could've
their
sworn I
content,
did that,
they go to
but
YouTube, they
whatever.
file like a 5-minute report with the system, a DMCA request, and YouTube immediately removes the video. Actually, every single US video host will remove any video the moment you send them a DMCA request, right? Via email to their legal team or whatever. And the reason that this has to happen is because these websites, in order to maintain safe harbor provisions, have to actually comply with DMCA takedowns, whether they're real or not. That's not up to the website. That's literally between you and the other person. So when you send a DMCA request, you are sending legal paperwork to the other person, right? Now, it's
Might
true,
have been a
the
mistake.
moment I DMCA strike
What the
Willie,
fuck
right,
is that thing?
Willie can counterclaim that and say, I own my shit.
Dude, I
Now,
wanna be
that
this
moment in
guy.
time, the ball's back in my court, and I can take Willie to court and whatnot. Now, even if I'm 100% in the wrong or something,
I'm still, because I don't have the money to go battle Muda. I lose that no matter what then.
yeah, exactly. A lot of people go in, and even if here's the thing, even if you end up winning, it's still a Pyrrhic victory, because how much time have you spent? How much money have you burned down? Like, there's so many considerations to be taken in this situation, which is why nobody wants to go to court, right? Like, Caleb, you don't want to go to court. Nux, you don't want to go to court. I don't want to go to court. Willie, you don't want to go to court. Nobody wants to do it. So we don't want to start suing each other as streamers, creators, or whatever.
Also,
But at the
line
end of
is
the day,
so
that's all
blurry.
we have.
That's the other scary part. The line is really blurry. At what point is the commentary you add enough commentary to make it transformative? If this is a debate among streamers that do this for a living, the 80-year-old judge that's sitting there that's talking to Fortniters is not going to have any idea what he's talking about. Like, at what point?
Well, I think even most lawyers would say
considered
that
transformative?
they aren't totally sure. They can make the argument, but it's still the precedent still needs to be set.
And it's terrifying to think of when the precedent is set. Like, who knows how far it'll go.
Yeah, the other part of it to me is I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like I feel like a lot of content isn't necessarily fair use online, but it's just part of internet culture, and I don't really love the idea of within it making the internet more restricted than if YouTube decides to change anything.
So
I don't
I've
want
never
more
actually
involved.
ever
I'd rather
been
just let the ball
here.
roll. I've had people react to my
Kinda
content,
cool,
some
kinda
really big
poggers,
streamers,
bro.
and I haven't had any where I didn't get any
Swag.
positive impact out of it. Didn't affect my video at all. But I'm not necessarily sure I would have gotten those views either way. You know, and then I've had people react, and I've gotten a ton of views. So
it makes a lot of sense to me,
really
the
need to
old
try
argument,
to
which I agree with
repair
you
my
completely.
shit.
I like
I
the
don't know.
Wild West aspect of the internet, in that everything is just kind of
These
you
are
know,
council
just
peoples
people
and
just
shit.
sort of do what they want. That's what makes it more appealing than traditional media. That's why people like it, because you can be involved in it.
But on the flip side, the fun part about the Wild West on the internet is that you could criticize
What's in
XQC
here?
for just sitting there and going to the bathroom in the middle of watching a video, and
Fuck
it's
off.
totally valid criticism to criticize that content.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't even say that's the flip side. We're in agreement. But what I was gonna say is the old argument of pirating movies. Right? People were always like, pirating movies, you shouldn't do it. They're not getting paid. The people who pirate the movie were never going to pay for the movie in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
So it
Well,
has
same
no
with
effect.
video game piracy is an argument too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I think where the differences in that also come to is like when you're pirating video games or movies or music, sometimes it's also a service issue, which is a totally different point we can talk about as well.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
I think, okay, so I don't really care if people react to my videos and whatnot either. It's totally fair game. I think like when I look at reactions, right? Like I look at Asmongold, guy has insight on everything.
Yeah.
Okay, like the dude could never play Grand Theft Auto Online, but somehow still have decent insight to offer because he's played video games. Like he'll cover videos and he'll give insight, and I think his commentary is, I would say, is relatively transformative. You know what I mean? Now there are some issues in terms of freebooting and aping the algorithm, but I tend to give Asmongold like. He's probably the gold standard. If you're gonna be reacting like that, be like.
Sure, but we don't even know if
is
how
everyone?
Asmon reacts would actually still hold up in a court of law.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You don't know
We'd
what
have
the
to go to a
president will be.
courtroom. I think where like XQC draws the ire is he literally is like
XQC,
Jinx,
it's,
where like he has
it's
nothing
pretty
to add.
positive
It's
that he's
sad,
not
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
shit.
It's just like I think what's wild is like when you put on a video and you leave for 10 minutes to go to the bathroom or take a call. It's like, well, what happened to the BRB screen? You know what I mean? Like just because like you have to
Dude,
step away from the
Hassan
screen
needs
to take
that
a
in
shit
the
and
worst
get food.
way, bro. That guy walked away like from the JFK video for 10.5 minutes, and then he came back and he's like, "Oh well, what I missed, guys?" And he goes, "Oh well," and he just keeps rolling with it. It's like, what the?
He was
bro?
like, "Oh, it was still going. It was still
That's
going."
the thing. That's the thing with the Hassan stuff. It's like sometimes he'll have like a reaction like that, and sometimes he'll do the Asmongold thing where like when it's a political topic, he'll provide like the crazy amount of commentary. So it's like yin and yang.
Here's the thing with it being the Wild West. With it being the Wild West,
Thought I could
there's
just
more
go up to
freedom,
merchants
and, I
and
think, a lot
repair
more
my
fun.
shit. What?
But there is going to be bad actors that are going to take advantage of that, and that's just part of the trade-off. And I'm just willing to.
I didn't know I actually had to look for a blacksmith.
Yeah, they're open. The most important thing is that they're open to criticism, and we can call them idiots.
Yeah, and most of the time they fold if they get
fuck
enough
is-
flashback, like pushback. Most of the time they'll fucking change. Most people aren't like
He
fucking
didn't
evil,
do
running
nothing
around trying to just
wrong.
steal everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I don't
also-
think
I tried.
XQC
My
is
bad,
even an
dude.
evil guy. I think
No,
he's just,
no.
Unintelligent.
He probably won't change unless there's some kind of.
He is unintelligent.
Dang.
I have to watch his clips twice, bro, because I can't tell it's English.
He needs to. I don't think he'll care though. I don't think XQC will change because he already has his bag. I think a lot of it is based on like money,
So you can
right?
find
So
them,
like,
ask
if
the
there's pushback from Kick,
bickering,
then he'll probably
sad,
change. But he's not going to
sad.
change. There's no reason for him to change.
I think the big question too is like one of the things that
Bless
pushes
you.
these people to change
Thank
is
you.
like when you've got creators who it's one thing if you react to YouTube stuff where I think it can really ruin that like fucking laissez-faire like like open internet that we love so much is when these guys start fucking doing it to like movies, which XQC has started to do that with like The Dark Knight and like actual like big time studios. The moment these guys start suing streamers and they win against a streamer like XQC, who's to say that they won't try doing it to like movie review channels or like other people, right?
Yeah.
Because you give somebody an inch, they take a fucking mile, right? And that's one of the scariest aspects of it too. I know plenty of movie review channel guys that are like I don't even know how the fuck they do YouTube without like wanting to like rip their fucking hair out because it's such a annoying
It would be
situation to
such
go
a
down
shame
into.
that all these companies are currently letting it slide, and that all changes because some fucking YouTuber decides to DMCA their fucking video that got him $2,000 or some shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna lose this all. We're gonna f this all up for like $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever the video. That
Yeah,
was
we're gonna
did.
fuck up an entire industry for us over this.
I just cannot f***ing take that risk. I don't want things to change. It's changed enough.
Yeah. Well, like it's just one of those things where it's like calling out XQC was like it's like the guy is one of the most egregious people, and I think it's like Caleb says, like I don't want the internet to like change for the worse.
Yeah.
But we should just be allowed to call these people out. Like we can call these people idiots.
I
They're all
agree.
creators,
I
right?
think the healthiest way
freedom.
is through Twitter.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with where my difference is. I think
IRL.
on Twitter that's a great conversation to have because I think this is a very relevant topic where there is a dialogue to figure out like the rules of engagement when it comes to reacting or whatever. But I just don't agree with Destiny's approach. That's all when he's saying to DMCA people.
Okay, but you're making. So here's the thing. There are two types of, DMCA engagement. There's strikes and claims. Now, if YouTube would institute some sort of way that every single channel can claim videos
What's
without
down
striking
here?
them, I think that would make the conversation a lot easier. Because striking XQC because he reacts to your video will
Nothing.
make the situation really explode. But
Fuck
if
is this?
XQC uploads 6 videos a day, if one of those 6 videos gets claimed by some random guy,
I am the
then,
captain now.
Fine. I don't think he'll actually care. So
I don't
and these
think he'd
tools
care, but
are
if you did it to
available.
Sniper Wolf, like that's her whole fucking brand. That's how she makes all of her money. I bet her ass would take you to court. Yeah.
I
You
love
should-
Sniper Wolf.
But you should be able to
Dude,
only
no
claim
fucking way.
the part of the video that's yours. That's what, like, Sniper Wolf will react to, let's say, 20 TikToks in a single video. So if the user of one of those TikToks claims a 20th of her video and gets a 20th of that revenue,
Oh wait, no.
I feel like that's
I
not even
think I came from that way.
far-fetched. I don't
Is
think
that even how that
fucking-
works though? That's not even how the
It's-
claimant system works.
There's
right?
music sharing for every. You make a music video and you will get a sharing copyright claim, where
Yeah.
you're sharing profits with whatever song you're parodying, and
Right.
the fact that that only exists for big music studios but doesn't exist for the little guy is disgusting. They have the same thing for geo-blocking, right? Like a lot of anime reviewer channels, they specifically sign up with MCNs that take 10 to 20% of the
fight the
revenue
way-
just
whoa,
because
wait.
the MCNs have an ability to geo-block your videos in Japan,
we
so
good?
TV
We
Tokyo
cool?
isn't gonna copyright
Shit.
it.
That's
nope.
crazy. What?
But that's a real thing.
It's a loophole. I'm in.
Couldn't you
Nah,
just do
no,
that
what the
yourself
fuck?
through the YouTube
No,
studio?
YouTube Studio does not give the individual the ability to geo-block, but it does give it to MCNs. So
That's
people will
fucking
literally
weird.
give
Oh,
20% of their revenue to MCN
Bro,
just
what?
for a feature
Bro,
that
okay,
YouTube
then
has that they're not giving
whose
you.
fault a lot of this is? It's fucking YouTube because YouTube
Yes!
gives like all
Always
these
comes
cool
back to
tools.
YouTube.
It's these fucking tools that they give to these asshole MCNs so they can still stay in fucking business.
It's
Dude,
like,
I
it's
love
like
it
back
is
in
in
the
YouTube's
dark
fault.
ages of YouTube when you were literally not able to make money through YouTube gaming unless you joined one of those MCNs.
How do you guys think, like, if some copyright law thing changes, how do you think that would affect TikTok when that's like that entire website's thing? Is to like play the whole
Dude,
video and then
apparently
react.
they're starting deal like well the way that TikTok does is since they built their platform around it, if you like duet a reaction with people, it like helps you both out algorithmically. Also, they've got dealings with like the music studios now, where like they're just able to license this shit a lot better too, as long as it stays primarily on their platform. YouTube doesn't do that shit. YouTube, like even the Shorts algorithm doesn't fucking do that. The Shorts algorithm just pushes me more take crap. It doesn't push me what I actually want to do, or allows me to like react to people, or like I don't know if YouTube Shorts like lets you duet or anything. I don't know if they
hate
developed
YouTube
that
Shorts.
fucking.
Do you
Dude.
have a mullet?
Of course.
You got a mullet.
Yeah, a really, really big one, a really nice
It's
one.
fucking huge. It's
There
a very
we
maybe
fluffy
fucking
mullet.
go,
Maybe the
guys.
best one ever, to
Holy
be honest.
shit.
Yeah, sides are
Can we
short.
see? Can you like?
Yeah.
Is it greasy like a mullet, or is it one of these clean ones? Nah,
It's
nah.
a
This is
clean
like-
one. It's a little
this is
fuzzy
like
because I was
asking-
wearing a hat. But
Wow.
It's
Look
like
at that
asking an
thing.
e-girl
Holy
to
shit.
take her top off.
look at all the gray hairs in my head too. I'm
Oh
getting really old.
no! Oh no!
This is like asking an e-girl to take her top off is like asking.
We'll have to blur that. That might
Let's
be
see them
inappropriate.
tits, girl. Sorry,
Jesus
that just
Christ.
came out too
No.
easy.
Have you lost Medicaid or CHIP? At healthcare.gov, 4 out of 5 customers can find a quality plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll in a plan today at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I know. See, aside from all this stuff, everything else has been like relatively chill on the internet. You know, it's like this React stuff has been like the largest that it's blown up in like a long time. It seems like every year it comes back. I don't think much is going to change out of it, but I just think.
See,
you know,
well, it's kind of like the React
Taking
shit's like two different cultures. Like all the people that watch streamers love it, and all the people that make YouTube videos fucking hate it ever since Jinx, like back in the day.
I don't know. I feel like there is a level of jealousy there also because it's like everyone takes pride in their work and it's like this is like the easy road to success. So I get that too. Like when someone will react to my video and get more views than me, it just feels so crummy, you know? It's like, but I did everything. You just sat there. But
Yeah,
why,
I don't
why?
see. I don't fucking care.
No,
Yeah, me
I
neither.
don't care.
I don't
either
get it.
at this point. But like I get it. I get it.
If there is a call to action, also, so this is a good
fuck
example
are those
because
shoes,
Critical
bro?
reacted to my scam video, and that helped out immensely. Like that was huge, because he was literally signal boosting like a thing that was beyond just a big video. So for stuff like that, it makes sense. Like it was just nothing but helpful to me, a very unique situation. But if it's like I could see if someone did a lot of research and you know it isn't necessarily like a cause or something that has a call to action. It's just like a really informative piece on something that goes into a deep dive and someone reacts to it. It probably is not going to have much of a trickle down to the original creator.
If they properly engage, it does boost the video. Like the best one I had was again like it was Critical, same as you, but he went ahead and he disagreed with everything I had to say in the video. It was like a video I posted, it was pretty dead. He disagreed with everything, but guess what? When the fans finished watching, you know, whatever channel re-uploaded his reaction, they all came to my video then, and then my video started going in the alg, and that vid got over 100K because of that. So it's
That's
like,
crazy.
as long as they engage, I don't care if it's positive, I don't care if they disagree, I don't care if they call me a f***ing idiot. If they engage, then I'm all there for it, because then that's actually like providing something to the conversation.
I think I've seen that video. The Charlie reaction, not your video.
God damn it, Nux.
Wait, hold on.
I'm DMCAing and I take it all
Was
back.
that the one on, oh god.
It was
the
on
one
Socks for One.
Yo, I saw the Critical reaction. I didn't even see your video.
I'm DMCAing and I take it all back, that guy. That piece of shit.
Anyway, but like going to like the content. So you're saying you're working on like a fourth tape video? Is it like when
Summon the Horde? How?
Because I just saw your most recent one with like those war room leaks that came out.
I saw that. That was pretty wild.
So
there's more. So get this: the war room
Did
is
I even have
basically
to
just a
follow
bunch
her,
of like rich people. That it's basically a rich Discord, right? To a degree.
Yeah, you pay like what? 10 grand?
You pay 10 grand to get in, then you pay
What
like
the
5 to 10
fuck?
grand for each other course, and you got to be in a certain amount. Dude, it's so much money. Like people have spent over $250,000 on this course, right? Well, it's the same thing, just like how we have it in our Discords, where there's just like some fans that are like a little too into it. You know, they get like, you know, they're a little out there. There's a video uploaded.
Do I have to wait
one
for
of the
her?
one of
Can I
the
just
Andrew Tate fans that are
do my
like
own thing,
doing the
21?
webcam thing where they're like pimping girls, gets into it with another guy that's pimping girls in the war room, and he was just tweeting at him like, your girls are all 5s, mine are all 10, like f you, right? So the other guy hired people to go to
like comparing Pokemon.
yeah. The other guy hired people to go to his house and like rough him up, but he like wasn't home, but he's got all like the cam footage of it. So it's just them talking shit and like trying to like get each other banned off Twitter, which one of them successfully did. Like all this fucking crazy shit. Like, dude, there's so much documentation from the war room of them like exposing each other and infighting that nobody watches. It's all like 5,000 view videos. You know, like.
So one of the things that I would like to add to this conversation, I don't know if you know, I interviewed Andrew Tate.
Yep, I saw that.
And I was a victim of his charisma. I got to experience it full frontal.
You got rizzed by Tate, bro.
Dude, he basically put you on cam and everything, bro. I felt bad about it.
Our boy Caleb, he was two inches away from getting traffic.
Dicot's gonna call you up to get it on his case.
Andrew Tate and Tristan, his brother, right? They are. I mean, undoubtedly, they have charisma. They have like they've got
incredibly entertaining people, like incredibly charismatic. Yes,
exactly. There are people in that group who are just as bad. You mentioned him in your video, Vlad Obu. I cannot stand that guy.
You know about him?
I cannot. Oh, I made a video about him like 6 months ago.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought I was like the first one talking about him.
Dude, have you followed his Twitter?
No, just his Instagram.
Dude, you guys can move on. Let me find his Twitter really quick. I do not remember exactly
I'll
what one of his
carry on
tweets
about
says.
Vlad Obu while you look this up.
Okay.
So Vlad Obu is a guy that would go ahead and he runs Andrew Tate's one of the webcam courses in the war room, and he hosted an event that was an OnlyFans like how to pimp girls event in Romania that Sneeko took money to show up at and speak at, so that's weird, right? It's basically Sneeko took sex trafficking money to some degree, probably unknowingly, but still
where's
funny.
my pet?
In that,
the fuck?
He's being investigated by Dicot and charged for human trafficking as well.
This shit?
In front of a bunch.
Sneeko?
No, Vlad Obu.
Okay, Vlad.
But Sneeko spoke at Vlad's event on trafficking, basically, which is funny to me. But
as a proud Muslim, by
yeah,
the
as
way.
a proud Muslim,
okay.
yeah, for sure.
Huh.
But
Alright.
Vlad went ahead and in front of
I'm in
a bunch
stealth,
of people, there's
like it
witnesses. Like
says.
this guy's
Huh.
was trying to make one of his girls get a third tattoo of his face on them, and she was refusing. So he just beat her in front of everybody and made her get it. Like, this is how f***ing insane it is. Like, this is not just like...
I feel like that's not real. There's no way that's real.
Dude,
right?
it's the charges are there, and there's apparently a bunch of witnesses according to the indictment. Like, this shit is not like just a bunch of like, oh well, you know, is that really trafficking? It's like, dude, no, there's like some seriously f***ed up shit going on here.
And he pretends to be named Joe Lampton, and his @ is Mr. Lotta Hose as well, by the way.
Mr. Lot, I did not know he had a Twitter.
Mr. Lotta Hose. And dude, I'm trying to find the tweet. I think it's like a month old or something, June.
Oh, Rich Genius,
dude.
Rich Gang.
Oh my God, check this out. He tweets he tweets like copy pastas of himself. He says, "I ejaculated inside of this high school young lady, but decided to not pursue a romantic relationship afterward because I am married."
I made fun of this special.
Yeah,
he tweeted that.
Same. Yes, and there's more. He's always talking about ejaculating inside of hose. Oh. Wait.
Why does he use the word ejaculating? That's fucking this is the most disgusting way to say that.
He said, "I just reached 28,000 followers on Twitter, and as a reward, I ejaculated again in this young lady's warm pussy."
At least it wasn't a cold pussy. At least she was alive. Like it wasn't a dead body or something. I guess.
Glass half full.
Dude, you're inspiring me to make a tape video this week, bro. I want to go down this rabbit hole, bro. I really do.
Check this out.
What?
Look at this one. Okay. Like just that's a little screenshot I clipped.
Where can I see this?
Hold on, I want to share this. I'll narrate.
It's in the chat.
There's a chat.
Oh yeah, I'm opening.
Yeah, chat bottom right. There's a little chat button. You can click it.
Did they die?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude,
what
how about
fuck,
that
bro?
tweet?
Dude, okay, get ready for this one. This is.
I mean, how dumb do you have to be to tweet that?
Ejaculated inside warm pussy.
Her pants are fucking wet too. If you look in her ass crack.
Oh my.
It's literally
God.
wet pants.
Dude, just look at how decrepit this area is, dude. It's just, you can smell this shitty room. Oh my God.
What's amazing is
What
just
the
how they all
fuck?
just incriminate themselves over and over and over. Like Andrew Tate was caught talking on the jail phones, thinking Dicot wouldn't listen in and record those transcripts. Like these guys just incriminate themselves over and over. It's insane.
Mr. Lotta
You
Hose.
still have people that defend them.
What else you got on Mr. Lotta Hose?
Oh, I mean, you can just look at his Twitter.
Oh, I
it's
get it,
full of
Mr. Lotta Hose, bro.
He's got a lot of
That took
hose,
you a
dude.
second.
Nobody tells me, bro.
Joe Lampton, man, Joe Lampton. He's a pimp.
Bro.
He's a true pimp. He's a real G.
So spell his real
Die.
name,
Oh
actually?
no.
Vlad Obu.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
VLAED.
Don't
Obu.
OBU.
And his thing on Twitter is Joe Lampton.
Romanian. I love how this first thing. It's his Instagram. Romanian police
How far
target
away,
alleged
bro?
associate of
What?
tapes. Jesus Christ, this man's SEO is.
It's not that
Yeah,
far.
Vlad. He hasn't tweeted in a while.
Well, how about he was
What
his
time is
woman
it?
that they were
3:33.
trafficking? They found them all in the same county as Andrew Tate. They're all in the same war room. Like when it says human trafficking in the continued court, we're gonna have to wait and see like, what the
What the fuck am I
prosecution
in
says
this
at the trial.
voodoo
But there's very good chance that means that they were trading women between each other.
Oh, if they for sure were.
Like it's dude, this is such like Andrew Tate's big defense is he's like one of the girls is such an idiot. She says she was trafficked 7 times. It's like, dude, if there's 7 of
probably
you in
was.
your criminal organization, then she totally could have been.
Check out the screenshot I just sent in chat this time. This is my tweet making fun of. That's when I made the video. I tweeted that.
My God, this man Caleb had the balls to make fun of a lot of hoes like that. Oh, I saw this tweet.
I tagged him.
I love this one,
in the
dude.
replies, it's all Mr. Lotta Hose. Did you see this? Holy dude, look, Mr. Lotta Hose. It's all people tagging Mr. Lotta Hose.
Dude, I kind of want to make the same post, and then I just want to be like, just join the war room, boys.
Oh my God.
I've fornicated with 284 women, 283 in the last 8
In
months.
the last 26. Dude, that's great. Dude, this is the wildest part
Bro,
of the situation. Because
Am I
here's the thing,
playing
even
wrong or
if, like,
something? Like,
So,
what the
so
fuck?
you bring facts, right? And I'm so inspired to make a tape video this week because I'm looking into this shit right now. And it's insane. But no matter how much
I hate this class. I should have picked a different class. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Matrix narrative and all this bullshit.
Save
You're
me.
just Agent Smith, bro. Like you're just coming up with these like.
It's kind
Dicot
of
is
crazy
just
how
fake, bro.
bulletproof of a defense it became. Like, just thinking about it, that like you can never pierce his armor, because his armor is just, oh, you're attacking me, you must be part of the Matrix, and his people just eat it up.
In my opinion, like, yeah, he's always gonna have people that are on his side. In my opinion, the narrative is changing. Like, there's so many comments across the 3 videos I made on him of people being like, I cannot, like, look at this. This looks rough. You know, like, I do think, like,
Oh, yeah.
Of the adults there, they're gonna look at it and it becomes like, it becomes insurmountable. The amount of evidence is insane.
Yeah, it is. It's fucked up because, like, if you don't really do any research, you know, it appears as though, like, if you're just let's say you're someone who doesn't spend a lot of time on the internet, who's never seen your videos, or doesn't really do a lot of research. You see, okay, he's a misogynist from the mainstream media, right? Okay, all right, you know, is he actually? Who the f knows?
I think I'm over it for
There's
now.
no real thing